असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Come on, chant this mantra.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
Now I would like to invite Dr. Himanshu Acharya, Assistant Professor, VT Choksi College of Education, Palanpur, to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Chandana Dey ma'am, Head Department of Education, KMCL University, Lucknow. Dr. Himanshu Acharya, sir. Are you there?
Wait, he's joining. He's joining. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes. I am audible?
Yeah, okay. Your screen is vertical.
In this session, in international webinar, okay.
Please rotate your screen, sir.
Hello.
Dr. Himanshu, rotate your screen clockwise.
I can find where. Yes.
Yeah.
Clockwise. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Hello.
Please continue, sir.
Okay. Right now, at international webinar on ethical consideration in research by the Rudra Education Trust, and after I am audible.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible, sir.
I am
Please
audible
continue.
or not?
Yes, you are audible, definitely.
Okay. In the international webinar on the ethical consideration in research, jointly organized by Red Academy for International Journal of Multidisciplinary. Now, today's our guest is hello. Doctor, hello. Today's our guest is Dr. Chandana Dey, presently working as a Head Department of Education, Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti University, Language University from Lucknow, has a teaching experience of 30 years, a university topper, gold medalist, and she has over 45 publications in national and international journals and has authored 4 books. Now, Madam, I request you, Dr. Chandana Dey, Madam, to give the keynote address on this webinar for international webinar on ethical consideration in research. Please, Madam, please deliver your keynote address on this topic. Hello.
Thank you,
Hello.
Dr. Himanshu. We have had, yes.
Okay.
I think you can hear me. Yes. I think I am
Yes,
audible.
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, you are audible.
thank you, Dr. Himanshu. We
Yes.
have had Honorable Vice Chancellor. I don't know if I think he is still joining in. He is an avid educational and in time from his such a busy schedule. He has been with us right from the morning, right from his introductory address. He has been with us, and we have had such an exhaustive session of paper presentation that it is very rare to see such an exhaustive presentation even in the normal seminars that we have. And for an international webinar to have such an exhaustive set of speakers, I think it is really creditable. And now all the issues for the ethical considerations in research have almost all have been touched upon by the speakers, by the participants, by the research scholars. I would just try to present my paper on ethical considerations in research today. On a very lighter note, the Oxford Dictionary defines ethics as moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the conducting of an activity. One may define ethics as a method, procedure, or perspective for analyzing complex problems and issues. For instance, in considering a complex issue like global warming, one may take an ecological or political perspective to solve the problem. Now the question arises as to why is ethics important in research? Norms promote the aims of research such as knowledge, truth, and avoidance of errors. Since research often involves a great deal of cooperation and coordination among many different people in different disciplines and institutions, ethical standards promote the values that are essential to collaborative work, such as trust, accountability, and mutual respect. Norms ensure that researchers can be held accountable to the public. For instance, federal policies in research, misconduct, in conflicts of interest, human subject protection, and animal care are necessary to make sure that researchers who are funded by public money can be held accountable to the public. Ethical norms in research are also essential because so that one can have public support. People are more likely to fund research proposal if they can trust the quality and integrity of research. Many of the norms of research promote a variety of other important moral and social values such as social responsibility, human rights, compliance with law, health, and social safety. Ethical issues regarding copyright need to be followed, which have already been pointed out by many of our speakers, like you need to get permission to use figures and tables from other published sources. Quotes have to be properly referenced. Usually there is no problem in getting permission for educational purposes. However, one should not be intentionally unethical. Ethics is not an afterthought, but an integral aspect of research that needs to remain at the forefront of research work. Ethical considerations are the most important part of research. There are certain principles related to ethical considerations in research, like the research participant should not be subjected to any harm. Respect and dignity of research should be a priority. Full consent should be obtained from the participants prior to the study. The protection of the privacy of research participants has to be ensured. Adequate level of confidentiality of the research data has to be ensured. Any deception or exaggeration about the aims, objectives must be avoided. Affiliations in any form, sources of funding, as well as any possible conflicts of interest have to be declared. Any type of communication in relation to research should be done with honesty and transparency. Any type of misleading information as well as representation of primary data findings in a biased way must be avoided. The research design must address specific research. The conclusions of the study must correlate to the questions posed and the results. Also, research ethics demand that the method used must relate specifically to the research questions. There are many areas of scientific dishonesty like plagiarism, fabrication, falsification. This we have already discussed in detail, so I won't go into it. Poor data storage and retention is also unethical. However, there are certain rights in research, like why the research study is being done, what will happen during the research study, whether any study procedures are different from the standard process, the risks, side effects, and the discomfort from taking part in the study, the possible benefits from taking part in the study. One also has the right to decide not to take part in the study or decide to drop out at any time. Decide whether to take part without any pressure. Ask questions at any time. Receive a copy of the consent form. Now, the question arises as to why there is a need for ethics in research. When most people think of ethics, they think of rules for distinguishing between right and wrong. Most people learn ethical norms at home, at educational institutions, in church, or other social settings. Although most people acquire their sense of right or wrong during childhood, moral development occurs throughout life, and human beings pass through different stages of growth as they mature. Ethical norms are so simple that one might be tempted to regard them as simple common sense. On the other hand, if morality were nothing more than common sense, then why are so many ethical disputes and issues in our society? All people recognize some common ethical norms, but interpret and apply them in different ways in light of their own values and life experience. Therefore, it can be said that ethical considerations in research are very important. All educationists, researchers, and students must take care of ethics in the world today. Ethics not only makes the road to research barrier-free, but also enhances the value system of the society. When we follow ethics in research, it becomes a habit and thus enhances the quality of life. If our country has to progress in the field of research, as is evident in the times of COVID-19, the rules of ethics have to be followed by one and all. Ethical considerations in research will certainly improve the quality of research being carried out in the country. Today, we are all looking forward to research for finding a cure for the incurable disease of corona. I would just try to give a presentation regarding the roots of ethics. The roots of ethics in Indian culture and philosophy. The roots of ethics in Indian culture and religion. What is ethics? Ethics is a branch of philosophy derived from the Greek word ethikos, which means moral principles. Ethics in the Vedas. The Rig Veda describes the Rath or cosmic order which controls the balance of moral values and forces of nature. Any disturbance in this balance causes suffering. Now, if we move on to ethics in Dharma, Dharma gives an account of the rules for appropriate behavior for human beings. Ethics in Buddhism. Buddhism propagates the principle of Panchashila, which deals with refrainment from killing, stealing, lies, sexual misconduct, and intoxicants. Now, if we speak of ethics in Jainism, Jainism believes in the moral principles of three Ratna: the right vision, right knowledge, and right conduct. To talk about ethics in Sikhism, the holy book of Guru Granth Sahib preaches compassion, contentment,